expand my understanding. All that I'm missing it because I'm looking for you to fit inside of this checklist that I think is supposed to be a man, or this checklist that I think is a woman is supposed to. So if we stop having this conversation where we universally define what one another is supposed to be and sit across from a human being and say, tell me the truth of who you are, and thank you for trusting me to hold the space for you to be that. Yeah. When I sit across from you and say, instead of me telling you who I think who you're supposed to be, what if I just hold space for all of who you are? Boom. And then when you show up as who you are, can I say, is this somebody I can go on a journey with forever to continue the path to becoming even more of what I see already before me? Can I do that?
Dude, it's so
Can I do that? While I know I'm still on my journey, do you feel like somebody I can trust to hold me during the vulnerable moments where I have to stand here before you and show you all of who I am?
Well, and have I created a person in me that can come to a table where somebody is comfortable to be themselves?
So that's what I'm saying. So while we talking about all of that, so what I'm asking you to, but here's the ironic part that's literally just coming up for me right now in this moment. Wow. Okay. Wow. Because this is crazy. Because if I'm asking you, what do you bring to the table? That means I'm literally saying, unpack your picnic basket right here. I want to see what's in it. Yeah. But when you do that, then I'm like, ooh, no, I can't have it. I'm not bad. I don't want it. Well, then why would you ask me to pack? Oh, you put that in your basket? Why would you ask me to unpack my picnic basket if all you was going to do was judge me for what's in it? Why would I unpack that? And now you mad because I don't want to open up? Well,
you just shitted on me. As if you just shitted on me. You don't like apples. Oh, you eat apples again? Like,
it's almost, I mean,
wow.
It's almost like,
that's
why
crazy.
Show up?
That's crazy.
A lot of us are showing up with an idea of what my next woman should be, not me. I'm saying like my woman should be like, or what my exactly man looks like and what he is, right? Yep. And then, first of all, that's a wild thing to have these list of like, because a lot, and
we got to go back to what she said. I just said it myself, so I don't remember. Go
ahead. In these modern times, what happens is we talk about the table, and what you bring to the table. A lot of us are speaking tangibles, right? The problem about tangibles is that it's always somebody with tangibles, and there's always somebody with more tangibles.
Correct.
Right? And that's not really, there's kind of very common things we're looking for at this table. We're having a discussion about like, okay, money, and then you'll disguise it with security word, right? So I'm looking for security. I'm looking for, you know what I mean? Like these different things, which I'm not saying that security is bad. I'm just saying like we have these things we're looking for that society is teaching us that these are the things you should look for. Right. Never go half. Make sure your man got money. Make sure she don't have no male friends, and all these silly things, right? Ridiculous things, right? Mm-hmm. And they're moving in the space of like, here's a checklist. Kind of, I remember when I don't know if y'all remember, but Chili from TLC had a reality show.
Oh, and I remember this.
Remember? And she read her list.
Yeah, I remember that.
What her man should be.
Yeah,
and everybody thought it was insane.
Everybody was like, girl, bye.
Crazy. You're never going to find all these things. And she ended up liking Floyd Mayweather. Hold on the conversation. Hold on the conversation. But
Floyd got her straight.
But hold on the conversation.
Damn. All right.
But she threw the list away.
That's crazy. Spent all that time writing a list and was like, Kobe.
Like, she said, this list,
that shit to the trash.
Are billions.
But man, that's
we'll
crazy.
Throw the list away.
Or
that
like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
But they bring that list up, be like, okay, or what?
Because I'm gonna say,
you got an or.
Because here's the thing, and that's where I don't have an or. There is not an or in the world that would stop me from moving towards what I'm clear God told me is for me.
Boom.
There is not an or in the world.
Oh, well, here's the first problem though. You said what God told me was for me.
Yeah.
They skipping that step.
Correct. I'm clear. I'm just saying, when your metrics, there is no or for me. Exactly, there's no or for me. Yeah. I'm not coming in with a list, but I know whatever you bring can't be distracting me from that. If it's doing that.
If you let God lead, you cannot go wrong. Wherever that is, you cannot go wrong.
Okay.
The problem is people aren't letting them, and then they say they let them, and then they become impatient with what God, all knowing, all perfect, is doing.
Right.
Wow.
And Dang. That's such a bar.
Here's the thing, one thing I learned about life in general, right? In the morning, one thing I pray for is I ask God for thank you for doors opening and the doors closed.
Right.
And the reason why I pray for both is because it's the times I wanted things or wanted to be places or wanted to have things or be cool with people or want this girl, whatever, that God was like, that wasn't for you. And you may not understand it and lean not on your understanding. First of all, I told you that, first of all.
I said that.
I said that, right?
In the song.
So, I realized in life, growing up, being older, looking at life differently, like, oh, thank you, God, for saving me from that.
Right.
Thank you. I wanted that, and I see how bad that would have did me in whatever kind of way, right? So,
but that's why God is good at all the time. All the time, God is good.
To Joy's point, if you let him live, you let him lead, right? You won't. There's no or. There's no option for the or. But I think a lot of us are moving in the space of like, I know what I want, and then I know what society tells me I should have, and then, oh, the nigga fine. So, and he got money, or she cooks and cleans and got a big booty. Or the men tell themselves, oh, she don't argue. It's some other things you can be mad at, and maybe not argue. Maybe she don't argue, but some other things that you probably don't like. Or the same thing for the women who like a certain kind of man. So this goes all the way back to our original topic of having a blurry sense of a vision of what marriage is or what you want out of life or your partner.
Not even what marriage is, because nobody really knows.
Right.
But specifically, why whatever you think it is is the vehicle that you want to get in, right? Like, whatever you think it is, why do you think that's a necessary step for you?
And the root of this whole conversation... Can
y'all just go together forever? Or y'all got to why does marriage feel?
The root of this whole conversation, in my opinion, is do the work on you first. We can figure out the rest of this stuff.
But this is what I'm trying to get you to see. And here's what I'm clear about right now. I've seen as much of myself as I'm going to see. When you stand up and you look down, you can only see so much.
For sure.
The work that we get to do to go to our next highest level is going to come from being in community in spaces where people reflect us back to ourselves.
So sometimes it's trial and error.
Yeah. So when you talk about,
like that.
So this is why because a lot of times people will come into me and be like, well, I'm doing the work. Well, you got to come to me whole. You can't.
Mm-mm. Well, yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, I definitely
I'm clear
you
that I need my partner.
Your non-whole self speaking that?
But what I'm saying is people justify staying in the recesses of doing what I'm doing the work. I'm working on me before I get into, and this is a very common thing for a lot of folks, but especially men, right? I'm getting myself together. I'm working on my career. I need to be where I'm going to be first, which I understand that. But here's what we're missing.
That's not why men do that, though.
I'm not saying it is. What I'm saying is, when we think that we are doing our work in isolation, what we're missing is the opportunity to have the relationships that are going to show us what we can't see.
Because we are by ourselves. You're right.
And that... Now we're getting into he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yeah.
Not because she's got to do all the performative duties of what we think a wife is and therefore she's a good thing, but because what she's going to do is show you the parts of you that you can't see on your own and is going to invite you to the levels that you can't get to by yourself. And if she can hold the space while you grow, you're going to be a greater version of you than you could have ever been on your own. Yeah, if you 100%. Choose the right one.
Because I've definitely been in a relationship. I've definitely been with my wife. I've told myself the many ways she has made me better as a man that I could not have done on my own. That
you made yourself better because she showed you and gave you opportunities and by inviting you to that. And then holding the space and being patient with you and understanding and forgiving while you did that work. She can't make you nothing you don't want to be.
So where did we get that? Where did we get that? The whole I guess social media has taught us everything. Not literally, but I'm saying where did we get that whole come to me whole?
Well, let's get to the picnic basket thing. So look, the picnic basket. I bring my picnic basket to the table. And like you said, how do we ask somebody to reveal who they are and then say, I don't like these things? Like I reject them.
Sure.
What do we say to the person that has revealed, man or woman, either, that has revealed their picnic basket 4 or 5 times, and now they've been rejected or they've been shared on this many times, and now they're hurt. are there. I don't want to know if it's hurt.
Yeah.
Or now they're fearful
Sure.
to
And I'm not doing that again.
To share.
to share
Absolutely.
now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, so how does that healing come about? You know what I mean? Like, not only how does that healing come about, but how do we protect that shit? You know what I mean? Like,
how do we protect ourselves from opening our picnic baskets to people who can't appreciate our snacks? That's what you're saying?
No. How do we protect ourselves from putting so much thought into what somebody believes about what we bring to the table?
That.
Okay.
Oh, I open my picnic basket and you don't like apples, so you judge me for having apples? Oh, okay. I still like apples.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The end.
And somebody will like
Right?
apples.
I don't have to internalize your experience of me. Remember I said earlier, come on, bring it back around. Remember I said earlier, whatever you feel when I'm here is what I do. Mm-hmm. And I said, I recognize that there will be some people who will not feel pleasant things when I'm around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
If anything that I'm saying right now is making you feel a way about me, because I am the vessel that is delivering the message. So you're projecting what you feel onto me instead of dealing with it because I'm just showing you. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to internalize that. I'm just opening my basket and pulling out my apples. And I'm enjoying these apples because I'm learning a lot from myself as God speaks to and through me in this conversation. So if you don't like apples, that's okay. Set them right there. I'll eat them later.
And I guess the thing about maybe, if I open my basket 5 times, right, and you start to tell yourself like, man, I keep showing people, but it's like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not really a lot. I know it's about perspective of how we feel about that, but also,
let me say this. Open that basket a little slower.
Oh, but no, and that's important. That's what I was going to say. So this is what I was going to say. This is important because this is how we get wisdom from those lived experiences. If I open my basket 5 times and 5 times I'm rejected, I'm going to start being like, well, let me find the people who like apples. Because I feel like every time I put my apples out, the people that I'm currently around are not with the apples.
Yeah.
So,
I know somebody like,
so now
I'm not. Like
but here's the thing. But I know there's somebody out here like apples.
Because it's grocery store for a reason.
And sometimes I go and they ain't got no. So somebody else buying these apples, right? So now, if I understand that, I'm going to be, to your point, I'm going to be slower to open my basket. Now, maybe when I sit at the table and you ask me what I bring, before I open my basket, I might ask, so how you feel about apples? Before I have to expose myself to whatever harmful thing. Before I have to expose myself to whatever harmful thing you might say or do to me as a result of seeing what I have in my basket, let me see if I can see what you think about what I have in my basket before I show it to you and have to expose myself to the harmful reaction you might have. And that is because I've learned from my own lived experience from having opened my basket to too many people that sometimes when I reveal what I have, a lot of people are not ready for it. So let me see if I can do a better job of vetting people to see if they can handle what I have before I just give it to them.
Before I even get them to this table.
Before I give it to them, let me see if I can vet them better to determine if they can handle what I have. That becomes how much more intentional am I being about the ways in which I choose who I align myself with, who I sit at the table with. That's about me applying wisdom to my own journey about how or who I engage with.
Because how many times, and I hate to, for lack of a better term, how many times am I going to waste my own time?
Correct.
Right.
I'm going to keep opening my basket and keep getting my feelings hurt when people keep telling me. But the thing is, I'm going to the same spot to find a new person that like apples when everybody in this neighborhood already told me they don't eat apples.
No, you're in the orange orchard. What you doing?
What are we doing?
What you
trying to sell your apples. Get out.
Let me, Joy,
you in Circus Valley.
I got to read that super chat too.
What is going on?
But let me ask Joy a question real quick.
Okay,
The super chat, and then we're going to pretty much probably wrap it up after this sometime. I know we've been here for a while, but I heard someone say on Instagram,
on the Instagram,
they were bringing up a topic about why are people attracted to married men or married women?
Oh, that's easy.
And the guy was saying, and I want to know what you think about this, because I thought it was interesting. I was like, I never looked at it like that. But they said, in short, because I don't want to butcher what he was saying.
Sure, of course.
In short, people are attracted to a finished product.
Okay.
So for example, if you're watching, who people think, quote unquote, think is a great example of a couple, whatever couple this is.
Whoever,
maybe Tab and her husband, whatever, Tab, or
Tab and Chance.
Tab and Chance, right? So you may look at them and be like, man, faithful husband, faithful wife, did it together, both making their money, vegans, smiling, doing good for the community, black, loving each other, loving their kids, all these things. So a woman will look at Chance like